Hey guys, this is episode 620. I'm Daniel.
And I'm SAGA MC. What's up?
And this is the show no one asked for. How you doing? How you doing?
I'm alive. I feel
You're
good.
alive. It's good.
Yeah.
Yes, that's a good
Dude,
thing.
real quick. I mean, my
What's up?
eye, I don't know why. Maybe it's because I've been waking up early, but my eye just won't stop fucking like twitching.
Oh no, I hate when that happens.
Like I can feel it, you
Yeah.
know? I feel like it's worse than it is. I feel like I'm like, my eyes like flapping,
Always
but
with your eyes, it's like that. You feel like it's way worse than it is, for sure.
yeah, like I'm
Because I don't
fucking feeling
see,
it
I don't
right
see any. You look fine. I mean, you look just as hideous as you always look. So you're
Okay, good.
Yeah. All right.
Sweet.
Good. All right.
Woo. I was scared there. I was scared that I wasn't as scary as I normally look. But
Oh,
fuck, it's like bothering me. It's been for like days now. Jesus.
yeah, no, I don't know. Yeah,
Anyway.
but I do hate when that happens. You're sitting there and your eyes flapping. But every time you ask, every time, and I don't know if people are just lying to you, but you're like, dude, what's going on with my eye? Nothing is
Yeah.
going on with your eye, you know?
I feel like it stops as soon as you ask.
Right.
You're like, look. And then it's just like that. Your body's like, wait.
Yeah.
He's asking. Oh, okay. Now we can go back to
It's
making him feel crazy.
Yeah, that always happens. Like going to the mechanic or the doctor, like, oh, it's working now, you know? But
Yeah, dude, it's always shitty when you're trying to show someone. No, look, it really does happen. Right.
Right. Exactly.
Right. I mean, you have kids. Like I try to say, like, look what he does.
Mm-hmm.
And then he doesn't do
They're
it. My
never
son is
doing
like,
it. Yeah.
just looking at me like, I don't know what you're talking about. I'm like, no, he does this one thing. It's fucking hilarious. Do it. Just staring at me.
It's funny, yeah. And it's almost like they know, you know what I mean?
Yeah. And then they leave and they're like, look what I can do.
Yeah.
And you're like, what the fuck? Okay,
Yeah,
cool.
no,
Thanks for nothing.
That's fun. Yeah.
Yeah,
No,
those little
we had a
people.
fun weekend. We had squirt guns today. It was a blast. We bought some like foam swords that are like swords. They look like swords.
Yeah.
They soak up water. So
Oh,
you
sick.
put them
Okay.
in buckets and then you start swinging them at each other.
Nice. Today was a pretty good day. It was like kind of cold in the beginning, but then it warmed up.
It warmed up a little bit. Yeah.
Yeah, so
We went out for a
perfect
walk.
day for water.
Yeah.
You know what's crazy though? I'm sure you've seen it. It's not new, but it still blows my mind every time I see it.
Mm.
It's like they have that water balloon, like it looks like a bunch of fingers, and it just so like fills up all the water balloons.
Yeah.
Like 60 water balloons.
And I've never got one.
It's always one of those. I'm like, damn, I want to get it.
Yeah.
But then I was like, nah, I can spend my money elsewhere.
Yeah,
know?
right. Yeah. No,
but it's like, dude, when we were kids, we didn't have the luxury of that. Like part of the fun was
sitting.
I'm gonna get you.
Yeah.
I'm gonna get you once all of these are done.
Yeah, what's like
once this bucket is 16.
Exactly. You know? Make it with your homies. No,
yeah, like, and like water balloons is fun, but it's kind of a pointless like action.
Is it?
Because sometimes, well, here's my thing. Like the object is, I'm gonna get you soaked, I'm gonna get you wet, right? But then it's like you throw one and it bounces, doesn't hit them, like you're trying to dodge it, like you want to get wet because it's hot.
Yeah.
But the object is to not get hit by the water balloons. You get what I'm saying? Like if you were playing, I'd throw it, you're not gonna just take it, you're gonna be like, oh, you didn't get me.
Yeah, and you're not gonna be able to hit me. I mean, you suck at throwing and I'm really fast.
Nah, I think I could overcompensate and throw it ahead of you.
Oh, okay.
And you just run into it.
Right.
But the point is, like, you're supposed to get wet, right? And then you're like, nah. Like as a kid, you're like, oh, you're not gonna get me.
Yeah, right.
And then you're down to like 2 balloons. And they're like, oh, gotta make more.
Yeah.
And then it's like, dude, your whole point is to get wet. I could just use the hose. It was just bad for the environment. It's a bunch of fucking pieces of plastic.
That gets
I mean, I guess I'm just looking at it at a very like dark or just not as fun way. Like it doesn't seem very it seems counterintuitive to me.
Yeah, at the high school.
Let's get wet because it's summer. I'm gonna hit you with these balloons that may or may not get you.
So at the high school, after we left, our class left, then there became like the high school prank was like a huge water balloon fight.
Yeah, we had that at our high school our senior year too. Like that made sense because no one wanted to be soaked at school. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah, yeah. No, I get it, but it just seemed kind of lame as like a senior prank. So then
Well, it
people
wasn't our
took,
prank.
yeah, right, right.
It
Or
was just something we
whatever it
did.
is. Yeah,
Yeah.
that was the senior prank though. That was like the thing. And it became
Oh.
tradition to do the senior prank. Almost like when we were in school, the tradition was like you stack the tables, all the tables on campus or like right there into the thing. So you stack all the those bench tables and
Yeah,
and
yeah.
then there's this huge pyramid, and then there's sofas on the roofs and you spray paint the walls and stuff like that. And
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
I think there's chickens one year running around, and so you feel bad afterwards because then you realize like you can't sell the chickens. They've been, you can't really do anything with the chickens.
Yeah, they're just now
But
just roaming
but it
the
was
earth.
funny like coming to school and seeing chickens running around.
Yeah.
So
No one ever did that at my school.
it wasn't my senior prank, but
Yeah.
that's the kind of stuff that was going on. So then when you leave and then it's like water balloon fight.
Yeah.
You're like, all right. But
But
at
see
least no one's getting hurt. But then people took it too far, right? They filled it with like pee and like fish oil and like all this other stuff. And then
rocks.
yeah, exactly. Yeah, acid.
Yeah. I got you.
Like
Oh yeah, you did. You
this was
fucking got my
supposed to
face.
be toned down.
Dude, I remember they were doing that, and I just hear, what, like once one just flew over, you're like, oh shit, it's going down. And I remember like I was kind of like on one side of like the group that was like doing a lot of it. They're like, hey, we're all on the same side, cool, right?
Yeah, yeah.
And then I remember there was one that just bounced and it didn't open, and I picked it up, and it was one of those like, man, we're on the same team. I shouldn't get you. But it was somebody I didn't care for. So I fucking just hit him, right? Blah, he got hit, right? And then the rest of the people saw me. So they're just like, wait a minute, you were one of us. And then they were like, you can see, no, but you can see in their head, like they're doing the mathematical equations of, should we get him?
Yeah,
Should
yeah,
we
yeah.
not? And
Yeah,
I'm like, look at him like, nah, man, it's not like it. It's not like that. I'm still part of the team. Just don't like that guy. And then at the very end, like I didn't get hit, or I dodged some of them or whatever. And at the very end, I remember a homie was like, "We were thinking about getting you, but we didn't." And I was like, "Oh, whew, like cool," as if it was some like gang shit. Like
Yeah,
we were
yeah.
gonna fucking jump you, but we talked to the boss and he let you slide. I was like, "Oh, okay, cool, man, sweet." But yeah, like that made sense because at school you didn't want to fucking go to your next class wet,
No,
you know.
no, you did not.
But as a kid, it's summer and you're throwing water balloons at each other for the purpose of getting wet. It just seems funny that you're like, oh, can't catch me, you know?
Yeah, you want to get wet, right, right. But I guess I don't know, because okay, so we're playing squirt guns. No, and I didn't mind getting wet, and neither did they. I guess we just stand there and just squirt each other
Yeah,
at times,
like
So
yeah. At first it'd be like, and you just keep
yeah,
going.
right, right,
But
right,
with
right.
water balloons, it's like I don't want to get fucking hit. Watch
Yeah,
out,
yeah,
I'm too sick. Dodgeball. Oh, I don't know.
yeah.
But anyway, I've been wanting to buy that fucking 50 water balloon instantly.
Yeah,
Like that shit's crazy.
become a problem.
Like
You
I'm
become a
done.
problem.
I'm done.
Did you ever mess around with the bomb bags as a kid? You remember those?
Bomb bags.
Yeah, you
No,
remember those? They were
I
like
don't
like
remember this.
like you pop them, and then they like start filling up, like they fill up,
Were the
and then they they,
the
they pop, and then there's like foam, and they pop.
no, I don't remember foam. I remember the rotten egg ones, like the
Yeah.
stink bombs.
Oh no, well stink bombs, those were worse. I mean, bomb bags were
Yeah,
just like they made a loud pop, so you kind of like
yeah.
squeeze
You
them and
crack with it.
you
Yeah,
pop
yeah.
it. Yeah, you crack it, and then it inflates, and then it pops. You toss
I
it
don't
somewhere,
remember
you
that. Yeah.
toss it, and then it would pop.
I mean, I'm sure I heard it. I'm sure
Yeah.
I've seen them, but I don't remember. I don't remember buying them. I remember the stink bombs though.
Yeah, it was one of those things like you buy from the ice cream guy,
Yeah,
you buy the pops, you mess
those were
with the
sick.
pops, right? Yeah, those
Oh
are
yeah, for sure.
yeah, yeah,
I bought my son recently like some like I buy them for the 4th of July and then I save them for
oh,
later.
yeah, yeah,
You
yeah,
know. And
yeah.
so like I had forgotten that we had just bought some, and so we're outside. I'm like, oh shit. And I was like, hey, you want to throw these? And they
Yeah,
make a sound. He's like, what? He didn't. He's never seen them.
yeah, yeah.
So we're just throwing him. He's like, what the like, and then he was like, what? And he's like, I'm like, all right, here we go. I'm gonna separate him from the little dust that they have him in.
And then they just go.
Yeah, but the crazy part is like, not crazy, but he got like a handful, and it was like,
Yeah.
and I'm like, well, that goes your pile.
Yeah.
You know, he's like, I want more. I'm like, well, fuck, man. Like in an instant, he was done with his.
Yeah. Right.
Luckily, I had bought more boxes, you know, but
Right.
it was just like, I'm like, no, like throw one at a time, you know,
Yeah. Right.
2, 3, okay, but handful. Wow, that was fun. He's like, that was great, Dad. Let's do it again. I'm like, well, slow it down. Slow it down.
Yeah, no, I did the same thing because they were like 50 cents a box
Yeah.
or something.
They have them at
So,
Smart and Final. I was like, for like,
oh
yeah,
yeah,
50
that's where I
cents.
got them. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, exactly. That's where I got them too.
Those were fun because also it was like you could throw them at each other and there was really no harm.
Exactly,
You know,
exactly.
maybe in your eye, but
Right.
yeah.
Yeah, we had that. We had the yeah, the cat pistols that you would get and the
Dude, I
invisible.
remember those. They
Yeah.
don't sell those anymore, huh?
No, I don't think so. Or I
And
don't know. I don't know.
those
I think
shits were
yeah,
crazy. Bah!
yeah. 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 And
And
there was
loud as
smoke. There was
yeah,
smoke, and you would smell it too. It's
yeah.
funny. Yeah, it's funny.
Loud as hell. Yeah, like
Yeah.
there's a lot of shit that I'm like, man, maybe they don't have those no more.
No, right. I don't know. I'm pretty sure I've seen them. I don't know if they have the actual cat, that.
Yeah. I thought it was like people were getting hurt from those. I think that's what it was.
Oh, was it really?
I don't know. I don't
People
remember.
get hurt from everything though, so
Yeah,
that's
I mean, where there's a will, there's a way. I
yeah.
mean, me and my homies used to do the Roman candles at each other.
Yeah, that's what every 4th of July was a
Yeah,
that's a tradition with the homies. You get
yeah,
the freaking Roman candles
yeah.
and go out in the middle of the street and you start launching them at each other,
Which is
right?
very, very bad.
Is
Like
it
you know, if you,
bad? I thought that was like a thing you do. I don't
no,
know.
like it's fun. Don't get me wrong. I had a lot of fun, right? But the
Right,
thing
right.
is, it tells you don't point at anybody for a reason.
Right.
Like you can still get if you get hit in the face, dude, hit in the eye, like you're
Yeah.
probably gone. Your eye is probably melted.
I think I saw like a few people get hit and be like, "Oh man," like,
I
hurt for
remember,
that second,
yeah.
but then they're okay. I never saw someone get seriously injured from a Roman
So I had a homie shoot me with one of those. You know,
uh,
we're playing right, and he's like, "Oh," and I'm like,
oh,
"Yeah." I
of
was like
course
whooping
it's
him.
you. I did years I never see anyone get hurt. Here
I
comes
didn't get
one
hurt. I
story.
didn't get hurt. No,
Oh,
I didn't get hurt. No. But I was like just bombarding him, right? Because like I guess he didn't see that he didn't get the timing. Like he'd be like this, and then aim somewhere else, and then
yeah,
it would go.
and it
You
would
know,
go. Yeah.
and
You
then he'd be
have
like,
to
"Wait
get
a
the
minute."
timing. That's true. That's
Yeah,
true.
because it's like every couple seconds.
Yeah, yeah,
Right?
yeah.
So I had mine, I was hitting him, right? And he's just like, what the fuck? Like, ah. And then he's just got me with one random one. And it hit me, right? I was like, oh, okay, cool. And we were done and we were laughing, right? And someone's like, yo, your shirt. And I was like, what the fuck? It's like my
Oh,
shirt was it
oh,
burned a hole like this big
oh.
in my shirt, like underneath here, so it wasn't like touching my body directly. And I was like, it was a good shirt too. Like I really like that shirt.
Dang,
Yeah. But
that's
anyway, moment of silence for that shirt.
that
But
sucks.
yeah, that was like the closest I got to where I was like, oh shit, this could be dangerous.
Yeah,
You know,
yeah.
it
No,
could
it's
be
true.
dangerous. I mean,
It could be, but I don't know. Like I said, like, okay, so you did that years, right? How many
yeah,
people did you see get hurt from that?
yeah. Other than my shirt, nobody. But I wouldn't. I still wouldn't suggest it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
Like
because
it's one of those things when I'm like, it was fun, but probably not the best thing to do.
yeah, it's true. You and not
Especially
even that, just the bystander or like the damage.
exactly like you're not even looking at where it's going. You're
You're
just
not
like,
even.
oh, it's gone.
It's so random. Yeah, it's so
Yeah,
random.
it just hits a patch of dry brush, and it's like,
Yeah, I
you know,
remember. I remember one time we were having to war on the street, like in the streets, and you just have
yeah,
your Roman candles, and it's like bouncing off the cars.
yeah. And you're not like, oh, I hope that's safe.
Yeah, you're
You're
just
just like, oh shit, here's another one.
in the
Fuck.
trees and stuff. Like, dude, it
Yeah.
was like 20 people out in the street. It was crazy. That
Oh
was
yeah.
wild.
Not.
I had to
I've
like
never gone that extent.
that. It was cool. It was
I've
cool.
only done like a one-on-one,
Oh, the
the
one-on-ones,
one-on-ones.
yeah.
Yeah,
No, yeah,
fucking classic duel.
yeah, the duels are cool too.
Yeah. Oh man, and it was crazy because like it was late at night.
Mm.
Yeah, I'm surprised no one called the police.
Yeah,
Huh.
the only time I ever got hurt from a firework
Yeah.
was when I was on a I was at my tia's house
Yeah.
and we were sitting there and I'm on a hammock. They had this cool hammock and we're sitting there, everybody's outside. It was this family gathering and there's like a lot of people. It's all, barbecue, whatever.
Yeah.
And then I don't know if it was it must have been 4th of July, but my Theo, he comes out and he doesn't tell anybody, but he lights those they look like little fuzzies, but they're lights, they're little balls that scurry around they're
Oh,
fireworks.
okay. Yeah.
Scurry around
Yeah.
the ground, like sparking and stuff.
Yeah.
And so I'm sitting there and the dude got me. The dude got me. And so I'm sitting there, I'm like laying, like talking, with my family, just kind of like whatever, just not minding my own business. And then he lights a few under my hammock. And
Yeah.
so I freak out,
Well,
obviously.
yeah.
And so I freak out and I tangle myself in the hammock and I slam on the ground and then I got like scraped. But that's the worst I've ever been. And I was in the middle of them. You know what I mean? Like I
Yeah.
landed on top of them and it's
Yeah.
still nothing. You know what I mean? I'm not saying go play with fireworks. I'm just saying like,
Yeah.
um,
Please don't suggest that. There's
yeah,
people
yeah,
that
no,
would probably
do
go do
not
that.
actually go there. It's one of those
Yeah.
things. It's one of those things,
Yeah.
Sharks. How often do they attack
Attack.
people? But like I don't know how often I want to go and swim with them. You know what I mean?
No, for sure. Yeah.
So you know.
No. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, even like it's crazy that like the shit I see people doing now. Like, I used to see these kids doing stuff, and then I go like, man, this is like elementary compared to the shit that we used to do.
Yeah, yeah.
Like
Well,
even like their simple pranks were like weak. And I was like, man, I want to tell these kids like stuff that we did, right? But then I
you,
don't want to give them ideas.
no, no, yeah, you
Like
don't. You don't want to
like did you
educate
ever
that way.
did you they'll probably well whoever's watching will get ideas now, right? But
Yeah, yeah.
did you ever two things. Remember those spike balls that like they would fall from the trees?
Oh,
Like they
yes,
were
yes.
like we would throw those at each other and
Yeah,
fucking
yeah, of
play
course,
like tag with those. Those shits fucking hurt, dude.
dude.
Oh man, like those, dude. When they
So
were
my
green,
yeah.
because they turn brown after, right? But the green ones are hard as fuck.
Hard.
Like,
Yeah, they're like
yeah,
seeds, like straight up
yeah, they're
seeds.
not ripe yet, and they
No,
just
they're
fucking yeah.
no, dude, you think that's funny. So I trump that.
Okay,
Like these teeth, the four teeth right here, and
yeah,
the curved shape right
yeah,
here
yeah, yeah.
have been fake since I was like 8. And
Really?
yeah, and they've been
What?
fake. Yeah, they've
Yeah,
been fake because Rock Wars. So we were playing
that's fucking. That's just stupid. That's Rock Wars. Oh
Rock
man,
Wars. So we'd get rocks
Jesus.
and we'd throw 'em at each other.
Yeah, that's
And that was our game. And so
no,
yeah,
that's
that
not
was
a
like
game, man. That's a
that,
survival tactic. Yeah.
so we're like throwing, and I remember I got dinged right in the lip, and I remember just being like seeing my teeth like go up in the air, be like, no.
Yeah, my teeth.
Yeah,
Trying
yeah.
to catch him.
You try to catch them like those moments where it's like slow motion, but it's fast,
Yeah,
and so it's like, and I remember the whole thing. It was like it was all the kids in the neighborhood.
yeah,
We kind of run in and out of the houses and the complexes on the
yeah,
block,
yeah,
and so we were all running around. I think it was it was my complex then, and then I go to the second story and I get cornered. I thought I was gonna make a left and then like
yeah,
go around the building, maybe go down and then like hop a fence or something, get away from the
yeah,
whole group because I was like one of the last people standing, probably the last person said no. Yeah, it was to get me out, right? And
yeah.
so then I'm the last person, and so
Wait,
then
wait. How do you lose? You just get hit by a rock?
yeah, you get hit by a rock.
You just get stoned to death?
Yeah,
That's
you
how
have to
you
be the
lose?
last person standing, so
Oh,
it's
damn.
like
Okay.
zombies kind of
Yeah,
basically.
yeah,
Yeah. And
yeah,
so yeah, I got cornered. I went up the building on the backside
yeah,
and then thought I was being super clever. And then I could see someone like way far down the driveway see me going up, and then they
yeah,
started following me, right? And I was like, oh, okay, like I still have so much time. I'm gonna beat them by the time I round out this building. And so
yeah.
then I turn the left, and then there's like 2 3 fools right there with the rocks, and I was like, oh shoot. And so then I turned back around, and then
Yeah.
that dude's there, and then there's like 2 others coming, so I was like, oh shoot. So then,
Damn.
but like it's only because I was indecisive. If I would have
Yeah.
jumped the second story down, I would have went, but because I had already saw there was no way out, right? And then I
Yeah.
went back and I looked. I shouldn't have gone back to look again. So then I went back to look again where the guys were originally, and that's when the rock was already flying. When I looked,
Jeez.
when I didn't have any time, I like looked and the rock hit me. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I was just like, bing, and I fell, and I fell backward. I fell back down,
Yeah.
and I fucking saw my teeth. I was like, oh, and I was more pissed because my dad's,
Yeah.
it was that era where like, I mean, this was my fault, but I'm just saying like it was that era where if you cough, it was your fault. Like if you got
Yeah.
sick, it was your fault. If you got,
Yeah.
you got like some disease, it was your fault, Like
Oh man.
so I was like, oh man, I'm gonna take back my teeth, and then like I'm gonna get whooped. You
Yeah.
know what I mean? So, but luckily it was fine. So and then it got stuck and it's fine.
Oh man. That is
Yeah,
fucking funny.
yeah, man.
So
Rock
I
wars.
have two things that reminded me of. One
Yeah.
one of which, I mean, never have I got a rock to the face.
Yeah.
so so I'm good on that. I don't think me and my friends ever played Rock Wars. No, I don't think.
It was kind
Yeah,
of
I
one of
don't I
those
don't know.
things where like one guy suggested, and then you don't want to be the one that be like, "Well, I'm not down." Dang, there's already like three fools down, and so,
No, yeah, for sure.
and so you're like, "I guess that's
Um
the game we're playing."
yeah, I never played Rock Wars. Now I have to say that's not on my list of things that I've participated. Nor is it on
Well,
my bucket list. I think I'm okay.
plus technically I won, so I mean, I
Did
was
you
the
win
last.
though? Like everyone, like they had a couple bumps and bruises, but you literally
I
lost
lost
teeth.
my teeth. Yeah.
You know, I don't know, man. I guess chalk that up to a win, I guess. But
Oh,
so
builds
two things that
character.
reminded
Builds character.
Bill's character. So you brought up the point where it's like if you cough, it's your fault. You go to the doctor, it's your fault, right?
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
So I had a homie's brother, and this was like we were already in our 20s, right? And we are just kicking back. We had maybe like 18, 19, right? We're kicking back, and his younger brother comes in, and his dad's like, "Hey, Alan, like, what is this medical bill for?" And he's like, "Oh, I had to go see a doctor, right?" He's like, "For what?" Like, he's like, "Well, they said that I might have cancer." And he's
Oh,
like, "What?" He's like, "Yeah, I went to a specialist." Like, so he went to a fucking specialist. Like, he got a referral to go to a specialist, right? And that's where they charged him. And he's like, and then the dad's like, "What? Why did you go to this specialist?" He's like, "I thought I had cancer." And so, I mean, and cancer is no fucking joke,
yeah,
right?
right, right, right.
But it was the funny part was that it's me, my friend, and another friend, and we're watching his little brother get fucking like yelled at by his dad because he's like, "What the fuck are you like?" He's just yelling at him like, "What the fuck are you thinking? Like, why wouldn't you come to me first and we could talk about this and then go?" And he's like, and he's getting upset because obviously he didn't have cancer, and he's getting upset because he's sounding like an idiot. And the dad's just yelling at him, and he's like, "Because I fucking thought I had cancer, you fucking dick." Like, and the dad's like, "You don't fucking have cancer. Like, what the like? Who'd you talk to
Yeah,
for you to even think like, oh, I have cancer. Let me go to a specialist?"
right, right.
And he's just like, "Fuck." And the little brother was like, he was obviously a couple years younger than us, but it was just the funniest thing because we're just like sitting back, like not trying to laugh, but it's so funny that his dad is just, instead of being like, "Oh man, that sucks that you thought you had this. Glad you're okay." He's just like, "Dude, you cost me this much money. You're a fucking idiot."
Yeah,
So
that's
that reminded me of that because it was his fault.
yeah. No, and it's funny. My dad was. I think he was pissed, but he was more thought it was funny. Like,
Yeah.
you're an idiot. Like, what are you
Oh man.
doing? My mom was more kind of like, what the. But she didn't even she also probably she was like laughs at everything. So
Yeah. Well, that's cool that they laughed at your
yeah,
missing teeth.
yeah,
But then that also reminds me of, because you're saying that you looked and then right as you look back, you got hit,
yeah.
in the mouth. So we were up in Oregon. It was me and my younger cousins. And I was in high school, and we were up there visiting some of their family, right?
Mm-hmm.
And this house was basically, their backyard was just the mountainside, you know, and you just fucking, yeah, it was just this house, and then boom, you just go out to the woods. And there was one fucking one paintball gun, just one. So we're like, fuck it, like let's play tag, you know. You can begin with the paintball gun, we'll fucking run, right?
Nice.
So we're running, you know, it's all you hear da, 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 you know. Yeah. We're like, oh shit, he's coming, right?
Yeah.
So I'm running, right? And I don't know the terrain, you know. So I'm just like, fuck, oh shit, I can hear him. And I just see him like drawing, trying to hit my cousins, you know. I'm like, fuck, I'm fast, I'm out of here, you know. Yeah. I'm running. I look back, you know, I'm like, oh shit, I see him. But so I cut one way, right? And I cut another way. I look back again, and I didn't notice that the ground was now going to have this drop off.
Oh no.
So if I had just gone this path, I would have been good. But I was like, fuck that. He knows this path.
Yeah,
you know?
yeah.
Let me switch over and go this way.
Oh no.
Right. So I'm going, and I turn, and like I'm looking, like I can glance, I'm looking down, you know, like looking ahead, but then I see out of my peripherals, I'm like, what the fuck? Why does it look like it's further away?
Oh no.
So dude, I'm running at full speed. So I'm running, and I just see like, oh shit, dude. Like I'm in the air now. Like literally just fucking doing this, like the cartoons, just like fuck, you know, because I'm not even jumping down. Yeah, I'm just still running midair.
Yeah.
You know, and I'm just like,
you're doing that, like,
fuck. You know, and I'm just like, shit. And so my momentum now, my body is just going forward. And dude, I just hit a bunch of gravel and branches, and I slide like fucking, like I'm fucking trying to hit home plate, you know? I'm just like, you know, so like it was one of those, like, had I just got hit with the paintball, it would have been way better for me, you know? So I'm like getting up, and I'm just like shaking because I have like gravel and rocks and shit, you know? And like, yeah, like I give up, you know? And like, and I'm like out of breath because like I lost the air. Right? Right? But like I'm out of breath because all the air got out of my lungs, you know, which is such a bad feeling. Like, you
that's
know,
so hilarious.
You're just like,
yeah.
Trying to breathe. Yeah. Trying to breathe. Wondering why you can't get any air in.
Yeah. You think you're gonna die for a second?
Yeah. I'm like, dude, I'm gonna pass out. I can't fucking breathe. So finally I make it back to the side of the house, you know. I'm like, you know, at this point I'm like, fuck it, I'm not even playing. Like I don't care, you know. I just want to.
No. See, wait, let me stop you. You see, you could have. I was about to congratulate you. I was about to say, hey, like me, you won. But no.
Well, wait.
Okay.
Let me finish, right? Because I don't know if I don't think there's any winners in this one. Yeah, except for the guy holding the paintball gun.
Yeah, right.
Because looking back at it, he's like, dude, I'm down to be the guy with the paintball gun. We're like, yeah, fuck yeah, I'll run. You're not gonna catch me. But thinking about it, that fool had one job. He either gets you or he doesn't. But there's no hurt for him. You know what I'm saying?
That's it. Yeah.
He's in control. You know, I lost. I didn't get you guys. Oh well. Yeah. You know, or I won. I fucking hit all of you guys. You know. No, so anyway, so I'm like, fuck. You know, like throbbing. My head hurts. Everything. I'm going, and I see my cousin run out. Right, my little cousin, and I'm like, oh fuck. The game. I go back in. I'm like, oh shit. I'm still in this game, you know? So I was like, oh, fuck, I gotta run, right? So I start to like kind of jog away, and I see my cousin, right? So he's coming, he looks back.
Oh no.
And all you hear is that. And he's just like, he looks back, boom, right in his fucking eye, dude. Oh my, like you said, you look back, got hit in the mouth with the rock, right? He looks back to see where the dude is. The bullet is, the fucking paintball's already on its way, dude. Luckily for him, he was wearing like his prescription glasses.
Oh, that's
so luck. It hits just the lens, right?
Oh my god.
And you just see his head go back, right? So I'm like, dude's dead. He just got headshotted. I just see him black and just hit the floor, you know?
Wasted, you know.
Yeah, right. And I'm like walking over.
Yeah.
You know, like at this point, like everyone's like, oh fuck, you know. And I'm like zombie walking over there to check on him. He gets up, you know. Instantly, like his eyebrow was welted up because it's still the impact, you know.
Oh.
his eye didn't get hit, but the fucking top of this was just like someone punched him in his head, you know?
Yeah.
And he's just like, because he's like 5 years younger than me, so he was a kid at the time, you know?
Right, right.
And he's just like, and I'm just like, well, fuck, man, we just all got fucked up here. And then I think my other cousin was just hiding the whole time, so he was
Yeah.
fine.
Yeah. He was
Fucking
what do
bitch.
they call those? Campers.
Yeah, exactly. With no weapon.
No, yeah, exactly.
He was like in a ghillie suit, just like, I'm one with the
Just
bushes.
watching everyone die.
Yeah, he probably saw me. He probably saw me just went, oh, airborne. Dude. And it was like we were just all in pain for the rest of the day, you know?
Oh,
And then we
man.
played some like video games, but yeah, like those two things reminded me of that. I'll never forget that because it's just one of those. I'm gonna look back to see where my killer is. Nope, headshot.
I
Man.
almost had it, and I thought I was gonna be, and I had it in my head, like, I don't know why I didn't just start climbing over the ledge and then like head
Yeah,
down and then try and get down, you know? But
yeah.
I was like, man, I don't know, maybe I can juke him or something. I don't know. I thought like maybe there's another way
You
out.
thought
I
you
was
thought
trapped.
too much.
I was trapped. I was
Yeah,
done. It was done. It was over. It was done.
you thought way too much, man.
Yeah, it was done. But those were the games. It was always funny though. Like you know how you're saying about like coughing it's your fault or whatever.
Yeah,
When the homies are home and your dad is like just doesn't care and he's still yelling
yeah,
at you and your
yeah,
homies are there and you're like they're just sitting there like I'm just waiting for a pause so I can get up and go. You
yeah,
know
yeah,
what I mean?
yeah. We're just like, it's just too funny to like.
Yeah.
We don't want to make it obvious because we didn't want the attention to be turned on us.
Right, right, right,
But we're
right,
just like chuckling, like,
right, right,
dude,
right,
fuck.
right, right.
It was like a $500 bill.
No, it's crazy. That's
So
crazy. I
yeah,
didn't have anything after it. So
yeah, like yeah, exactly. You know, and he's just like, why would yeah. But yeah, no, but so then that also reminded me too, like in terms of pranks, did you ever fucking flip people's backpacks inside out?
no, I didn't do that.
No, you didn't like that?
I don't know. That doesn't sound like. No, I saw it a few times, but that wasn't. I
I
don't.
don't know. We used to do it because it was such an easy thing to do.
Yeah, yeah.
And the fact that no one like you just had a sphere, like it was just no straps. It was just a bit like looked like an egg. And people were like, where's my backpack? Where's my
Yeah.
backpack? And it would just be a bunch of like these pods.
Yeah.
And then the zipper would be inside, so it'd be even harder to fucking open. Like it didn't cost it's one of those easy pranks because it's like 5 seconds for you to flip a backpack, put all their shit back in. But
Yeah.
it's like a minute and a half, 3 minutes, 5 minutes for them to try to fucking get all their shit. I don't know, man.
I was doing dad jokes before, long before I was a dad though. I was doing the so the one thing I would do is I can make like a bird sound in the
Yeah.
room and
Oh, one of those
without
guys.
moving my lips, you know?
One of those
Yeah,
fuckers.
you know, and you can
Yeah, I
like
can hear. Yeah,
yeah, so you make it sound like a bird. And so I'd be in class and I'd just be
yeah,
sitting there and I'd look around too. So that we'd be
yeah,
sitting
for
there
sure.
and I'd
To
be like,
sell it.
and like look around
Yeah, yeah.
and then look at people like eye contact, like what? You know? And the teacher you'd see the teacher final first it'd be the students, but then you see the teacher start kind of noticing.
Yeah,
And then you're in your books, you know, like
yeah.
and they're tripping all period, you know.
Yeah.
So I did stuff like that, you
Well,
know.
do you remember on the chairs, the bottom was like a metal, right? For the
Oh, the
basket?
long with
Yeah,
your
you like lick your fingers and
yeah,
you would
yeah,
just go
yeah.
one. And that was another thing, because you just have to lean down
Yeah.
and you just put your hand out and you'd be like,
Yeah, but teachers got
"Wah."
wise to that one really quick.
Well, I don't know about quick, maybe not at my school, but
Mhm.
they eventually knew it was somebody in the class,
That's
you
what
know?
I'm
Yeah.
saying. It was like really quick. The
But they
bird
still
one is
couldn't tell
like
you who it was though. You know what I'm
right,
saying? Like it
right.
just be, and then when like 5 people were doing it, it's just like,
Oh yeah,
wow, we're
yeah.
just like, what is
Yeah,
that?
I just feel like you could always see the kid like clearly like this, you
Those
know?
are the whack ones though. That's
Yeah,
what I
yeah,
hate. Some
yeah,
some of
I
the kids
agree.
weren't good. Like there's a lot of kids that burned it because it's like, huh?
Yeah,
It's
yeah,
not me.
yeah,
It's
that's
like,
right. Yeah,
dude, come
yeah.
on.
I
Yeah.
agree. That's why I like the bird one because it's like I could
No, the
just
bird was
stop
good.
and I could just
Yeah.
stop. and no one
Yeah.
would know. So
Yeah.
when they would start getting, it would start becoming a real problem. I would just stop, and then it'd
Yeah.
be like, oh dang, I guess the bird left. I don't, I don't know how no one. And I just
Yeah.
walk
Right.
away like, man, that was hilarious. And then I tell my homies like, hey, that was me, the bird. They'd be like, no, it isn't. And I'd sit there, we'd be eating lunch, then I'd do a bird sound. They'd be like, what the fuck? Like, where's that bird coming from? It's hilarious.
or or the when you would do the water sound, the drop.
Oh yeah, there you go.
Yeah, that was a good one too. Because you'd be like, what the fuck? Where's this leaky faucet?
Fart noises, of course, were always hilarious.
Yeah. Did you ever do like people would do like the rubber bands. Did you ever do the rubber bands with the paper?
Oh
Like you would
yeah,
fold a little piece of paper, right?
yes,
And then you would
yes.
fucking just
Flick
you would
it.
hear that. Dude.
Yes.
So we had this, and it's crazy. So you playing with rocks,
Mhm.
you know, I'm like, that's dumb, right? But then I have my list of dumbass games too, where I'm like, it's like pick your poison, which
They're they're so dumb. We were
like
dumb.
open chest. You remember open chest, right?
Oh yeah, yeah,
You
yeah,
just get yeah,
yeah.
open chest. For those who are listening and do not know, you had to walk around with your hands like an X, like Black Panther style, on your chest. And if you didn't have that, someone literally can just come up to you and
Yeah,
punch
just
you in your
punch you
chest.
straight in your chest. Yeah,
Like that's a
yeah.
stupid game.
It's so dumb.
That's a stupid game. You
What
know
about Rochambeau? That's pretty dumb.
the this rock paper scissors.
No, wasn't it kicking you in the balls before? Wasn't it like?
Oh yeah, but that's yeah. See, like Nut Check Friday.
Yeah, right, right.
It's like so stupid. I
Yeah.
wonder how many people were scarred for life after that.
Exactly.
But like so this is the game that I enjoyed playing because I was so fucking good at it. And I'm not. I mean, it's like, oh, you're so good at a game that didn't help you in life.
Yeah.
But here's the thing. So the game was. So let's say you and me are playing, right? We're in the classroom. You and me are playing.
Oh,
If
oh, oh, no,
you
no.
probably might know this game.
Yes, yes, yes.
If you're not looking at me,
Yeah.
I can slap you in the face. Did you
Oh,
ever
wait,
play that game?
oh, no, no, I didn't play that
Okay.
game. People would
So
get hurt at wherever I came from if that
oh,
happened.
so no, trust me. People, but that was the thing. Like you only did it with people who you is one of those things that spread,
Yeah.
and you knew you people were playing. It's kind of like the open chess thing.
Oh, yeah, yeah,
You
yeah.
know what I'm saying? Like it wasn't like you just slap anybody.
I don't know, the slap in the face though. Like it's funny because I'm sitting here and if it's like if we agree to play open chess, then
Yeah,
cool. But like
yeah.
if I haven't agreed to a slap in the face, you just walk up to me. I don't care
No,
if
no,
I'm
that's what I'm
first
saying. You
doing it.
agreed.
Oh,
You are already in agreement.
okay,
Yeah,
okay.
like if you're not playing, I'm not just gonna slap you
Oh
because
yeah, yeah,
obviously
yeah.
that would cause some issues. You'd be
Yeah,
like, what the
yeah. That'd
fuck?
be
Yeah. No. Yeah, you're not slapping random people.
what? We're gonna go at it after that. That's
Yeah, exactly. No, you're not slapping random people.
yeah, right.
You knew who was playing.
Mhm,
Um, so anyway, so like let's say we're playing.
mhm.
If you're looking away, or if I'm
Yeah,
looking away, right, I'm like this, and then you walk up, boom, you can hit me because I'm not keeping eyes on you, right?
yeah.
So the crazy part is it started expanding. So you're like, fuck, like especially at lunch, you're
Mhm.
like, dude, I know who's playing, but I don't see them here. So you'd always have to be on edge, right?
Mhm.
But it happened mostly during the class. So we were in Spanish class, and there was like 5 of us playing, and you just see like one of us get up, and you see the ones who were playing, you just see them like this, like just watching. So the teacher would be like, and he'd be like, what the like the teacher would stop their lesson because they're like, why are 3 people looking at that guy
Yeah, yeah.
sharpening his pencil? We're
Yeah,
just all like this.
yeah, yeah. It
And
just
every so often, like you'd slip up and you'd be like looking down, and it'd just be like, bah! And you're like, and then the
oh
teacher would just hear, and he'd look, and you'd be like this, like,
yeah,
oh
not saying
fuck,
anything.
yeah. But I never got. I think I got slapped like 1 or 2 times, right? But the beauty was this. So we were sophomore, freshman playing this game,
Mhm.
and there was some seniors, right? Some big dudes, right? There was one guy, his name was Moose. There was another guy, like they were the big football players, right? And
No.
they were playing the game.
Mhm.
They were playing the game. So their thought is like, dude, my hand's this big. I'm gonna fucking slap the fuck out of these fools, right? Not knowing that they weren't as sneaky though. So I remember this was one dude, right? And I was like, dude, if I hit him, he can't beat my ass because fuck, like he's part of the game, right? So he was there, and he was talking to his girl outside of class, right?
Mhm.
And so my friend comes up, on one side. He's talking to his girl, like looking, because he's like 6'5", whatever, just looking down at his chick. And my homie goes, boom, just hits him, right? And he's like, what the fuck? But then he looks back and he sees who it is. So he's like, fuck, right? And as he's looking over there, I come. And I'm just like, boom. Just like this, like fucking full on. Just
to the same guy?
Like, yeah, to the same guy. So he just got slapped. He just got slapped one way. All right. And as he's looking back to the guy who just slapped him, I'm here like this already, full force, like doing a fucking what is it? Mac from fucking Punch Out.
Yeah.
Boom. And it hit him, right? And he's just like, what the and he sees me. Now he's just like this. He's like, but there was nothing done because we're like, yeah, exactly. You're part of the game, so fuck you.
Yeah.
And then the next day though, he comes back to class and he's like, yo, my girlfriend didn't like that, bro. He's like, you guys gotta stop. And we're like, no, dude, it's part of the game.
Yeah,
it's like, and to get out, the people playing all had to slap you to get out. So it's like, do you really want to get slapped by everybody? Fuck that,
And that's cool. That's a cool way to get out. That's
right. It's like we have to slap you out.
Yeah, they slap you out. That's cool. You buy out of the game.
Yeah, and I remember I had a homie, Wesley Frias, fucking football player. I mean, baseball player, football player too, but just a big dude, right? Mm-hmm. His hand was huge, like would palm your fucking whole head. And I remember he's like, I want to play. And I known him since he was like little, right? So I was looking at him like, fuck you, you're not playing, dude. Because he's like, no, I want to play. Like, nah, man, you're the one person we're not gonna let play.
Yeah.
Because a slap from you, it would probably fucking murder us. So I'm like, I'm good.
Right.
But like that was just, I was like, dude, this fool got double slapped in front of his chick, and just couldn't do anything because he was just like, well, for the integrity of the game.
So have you seen those games where it's the slap games? Like,
yeah, so like this was like the precursor to that,
Okay, yeah.
This is probably where that evolved from,
those big dudes that just slap these guys. It's crazy.
Which I would never. I know. I'm sorry, because you could slap someone as hard as you could punch someone. Like, fuck, dude.
Harder, probably.
Yeah, because you're having more surface. Area.
And you're just winding up like with all your body.
Yeah. They have to hold on to like the little metal posts.
The little metal poles, just
when you have to put baby powder on your fucking hand. No thanks. I'm good.
Dude, so that reminds me, there was the jiu-jitsu events that happened over the weekend. And I know it's usually for a scuffle thing. This might be for a scuffle thing, but you're talking about slaps in the face. And that dude from Atos, Andres Galvao, he got slapped up by Gordon Ryan, who's basically the best, greatest no-gi. Well, Craig Jones too, but they're like the best no-gi grapplers on earth right now,
Yeah.
And anyways, like, so Craig Jones and Gordon Ryan, they have these events. Gordon goes first. The main event is Craig Jones. Gordon goes to like shake the hand of I guess Craig Jones' opponent or something like that.
Yeah.
And then this other guy, Andres Galvao, I guess he gives him the finger, Gordon still doesn't do anything. They go to the back. They start talking trash, and then what I saw in the video is Gordon leaving, and the Atos guy, the Galvao, he was walking up to him like, hey, what's up, like getting in his face, trying to get in his face.
Yeah.
And Gordon's like, dude, like either do something or leave me alone. And the dude wouldn't do anything or leave him alone. So then he just slaps him, like slaps hard. And the dude kind of wobbles and then like looks, and then he's like, hey, does nothing. Then they go off screen for a second and you hear another one. Boom, slaps, and then does nothing again.
Yeah.
And then later when Gordon Ryan is sitting there like you are, like doing the interviews, the Galvao again comes and tries to talk to him in the thing, and he's like, dude, the athletes have to do that. Gordon is like saying like the athletes have to do this, get out of my face, whatever. And so they're going at it or whatever. And so and you see the debates on Twitter and stuff like that, like, oh, Galvao shouldn't have done it, or good he didn't do anything, or what, why didn't you do anything, or and so first off, I mean, I don't actually know exactly what happened, but by what I saw, like you know, it looked like Gordon was just congratulating an opponent and just giving his hand, and then
Yeah.
the dude gave him a finger, and then he started talking trash, and then he didn't want none, and so it's not really a big deal, you know. I don't
Yeah.
know. I feel like he got slapped and he didn't want none. That was the answer, you know.
Well, he's like lucky he got just slapped.
That's
Like,
what
you
I'm
know?
saying. It's
Yeah.
like, dude, this guy would destroy you.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, he'd destroy anyone on earth. And
Yeah.
so it's crazy there. Like, you feel like you want to, you know, it'd be like going up to Tyson. What are you doing? You know,
Yeah.
and like trying to box him or something. I don't
Yeah.
know, talking trash. Like, I don't know. Not that this guy's Tyson, but in jujitsu,
No,
he's
no, no. But it's just somebody, yeah, you don't fuck with, you know.
yeah, is he someone
But
you don't talk to? And then he had so that dude got slapped. If I slapped you like that, what would you do?
well, dude, what the fuck? Like this, it's on after that. Like,
Yeah,
especially I'm the one talking shit to you.
sound like Donkey Kong.
Well, if I'm talking, am I the one talking shit to you, or you
Yeah,
talking
see,
shit
that's
to
why
me?
it's tough. That's why it's tough. Like, it's a hard question, right? Because I'm asking you, like, if you were being a dick and you knew you were in the wrong, but then I just like slap you, kind of in
Yeah.
self-defense. You keep encroaching on my space,
Well,
and I
well,
slap
here's
you
my thing.
after warning you too, after telling you, like, dude,
Yeah.
if you keep getting close to me, I'm gonna slap
Yeah.
you or do something, and then you do it, and then I
Yeah.
slap you. And then I do
Well,
it.
well, if you're asking me personally the question, right?
Yeah.
If I'm bothering you,
Mm,
right? I'm already opening that door.
yeah.
You know, like I'm not gonna bother you with the hopes that you're just gonna walk away, you know?
Mm,
Because in my mind, I'm like, yeah, you walk away, you show me that you're a bitch, right? Cool. At the same time, if you say, I'm not gonna be a bitch and I'm not gonna take this shit, and you slap me, in my mind, that was already one of two outcomes. You go away and I just keep bothering you until you disappear, or two, you hit back, you know,
but that's why.
without words, you know?
But that's why I say it's like, and not that you shouldn't. Everything you should work things out with words. If you're gonna fight, just fight. Just you
Yeah,
know what I mean. I don't know. I just think that whole yeah, like, why you said, like, if you're bothering them, you know,
yeah,
like, if you're gonna bother them, you're already opening that door. I don't know who I'm running into. It could be a
yeah,
murderer. It could be someone
yeah,
that's never fought in their life. It could be
yeah.
someone that
I don't know what the trigger point is.
exactly.
Yeah,
So by doing that, you're already inviting that and saying you're okay with risking the outcome.
yeah,
And then so yeah, I mean, yeah, you're yeah, like you said, you're opening
yeah,
that door. But what I'm saying is, if you are gonna open that door of risking, maybe there's violence here.
yeah,
Why not just like defend yourself already if you're that bothered, or keep your mouth shut, like he was
yeah,
saying,
exactly.
or,
Yeah. Well, that
or keep your mouth shut.
we've talked about this, you know, in prior podcasts or just in speaking, but
Mm.
it's those people who think they can just keep barking, you know.
Yeah,
What you're not gonna do shit, thinking that there is a like a certain amount of steps that have to happen before the altercation happens, you know what I'm
yeah,
saying?
right, right.
I'm
But
going to talk shit to you, you're going to talk shit to me, I'm going to talk shit again to you. You're like, you know, like sometimes that doesn't happen. Sometimes it's like, hey, fuck you. Oh yeah, fuck you with this, boom,
Mhm.
you know.
Yeah, sometimes people don't say anything, and a lot of times it's the smaller guy because they do feel threatened. So then
Yeah, yeah, they don't know if they're going to get a second chance to defend themselves. Yeah,
exactly. So hey, I have to take this shot right now while it's
yeah,
open. So
you're clearly pressing me for
mhm.
something
Yeah,
which I
right,
meant no disrespect or no harm,
right,
and now you're
right,
like at me.
right.
Sorry, you know, I feel threatened. Like Masvidal say, you know, you give him the 3 piece of the soda.
The three
Yeah,
pieces. Yeah, I mean, that dude went and got that dude. I mean, Leon was talking trash, but in the back there, Leon was walking, and Masvidal. I love Masvidal, but
yeah.
Masvidal went over there and was like, blah blah blah, boo boo.
But that's the thing, though. I mean, so but here's my
That was
question, right?
nuts. And then plays it as self-defense. He's a genius. That's how I know he's been in a lot of these situations before,
Yeah,
because automatic, whether it's true or not, he was in the principal's office
yeah,
right away. I was defending myself, dude.
yeah.
There's video. Like, I saw the
I
video. I
but there
saw
is
you
that split
walk.
second. There is a split, like a couple seconds where you
Yeah,
don't see, you know, what is it, Leon
yeah,
Edwards.
yeah,
So
yeah,
you don't really know what his intent is technically.
yeah.
For the benefit of the doubt, right? He could have been walking like this, right? We don't see that. We just see Masvidal come up and
You're a homer, dude. You're a homer. You just like Jorge. Bro, he's doing an interview on ESPN, like with a reporter, and is like let's say I'm talking to you. Let's say
I didn't see it.
you're talking. It's like that. It's like, not, and he didn't even say anything. He was just in the middle, in mid.
Yeah, because the dude was talking to him, and he's like, "Yeah, okay, beat my ass, whatever, cool, whatever." What was that? Hold on, 1 second. And he's like, "What are you trying to say? What are you trying?" Blah blah blah.
Get out of here.
But that's the thing, though. As
I
an
love Bugsy.
MMA fighter, though, right?
Oh yeah, that's different. I mean, that's
Like, this dude can fucking fight.
yeah,
It's
yeah,
not
that's
even
different. There's no, it's different there. I'm just trying to make
No,
fun,
no, for
but
sure,
you
for
know,
sure.
that's
Yeah, was it self-defense?
yeah. I don't know.
Yeah. But at the same time, it's like, should he have found out? No, maybe he was just gonna talk to him
Dude,
angrily.
Masvidal is a gangster. Like I guess one time he gave respect to Michael's Bisping because I guess they had some beef that was
Yeah, I
very
remember that. Yeah,
minor, but they had some beef, and then like it- I guess later was like, oh yeah, no, I don't have beef with him. Like we're cool or whatever. He's like, oh, why are we
yeah,
cool? And he's like, yeah, because he caught me alone with his homies. And after I had already talked shit, like we had talked shit to each other,
yeah,
and then he walked by me. He didn't say
yeah.
hi, he didn't say nothing, but he walked by me. And they're like, yeah, so what? And he was like, well, if I was with my homies and I caught Mike Bisping by himself, I probably would have beat his ass. So he clearly did me he did me a solid. So like
Yeah, he
that's
just,
cool.
yeah, he didn't jump on the chance to fuck him up. Yeah,
And it's like, what? Like, okay, man. But that's more to your point, is like this
yeah,
guy, anything is just a threat to him. You know what I mean?
yeah. But I mean, but it kind of goes with that code. Like, if you're caught fucking, slipping, like, and somebody doesn't do shit to you, well, then you're like, okay, like you had your chance, and
Yeah.
if the beef isn't on some like crazy shit, you're just like, okay, I'll see that as like, you know what you could have done, but you didn't do it. So clearly the beef ain't that strong.
It's an olive branch.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Yes.
So like, yeah, and that's the code. Like he's like, all right, that's fine. Cause yeah, had it been the other way around, it might not have been so good.
No, yeah, that's what he was
Yeah,
saying. It's crazy.
yeah,
But yeah, Masvidal, man, I miss him in the cage, dude. I want him to
I
fight.
know.
Should fight Usman or whatever.
We'll
Um,
see. We'll see who they fight.
he's your
It's
guy,
all.
right?
He's one of them. Like I have like my faves in every weight class.
Right, of course, of
Um,
course.
there's maybe a couple in some weight classes, but there's like the ones that I'm like, oh, like this is who I'm playing as in the game. you
Yeah,
know,
yeah, yeah.
this is the fool I'm rooting for among above all the other ones in that division.
True, true, of course.
Yeah, it was something I was gonna say, but I forgot
Talking
now.
about fighters, did you see so Gina Carano uh got freaking fired from Mandalorian? I know that's been like a 2 week thing, but she finally did her interview with
Yeah,
Ben Shapiro. I don't know if you saw that.
I heard what it was about,
Mhm.
and like we had talked about, like I I understand her point of view in terms of like
Mm.
she has an opinion, and she'll be damned if they're gonna silence her, right?
Uh-huh.
But I also understand if you're working for certain companies who don't like things maybe you represent,
Mhm.
then either A, don't take that job, don't work that job, or understand the risk of having these set opinions. You know what I'm saying? Um, Again, I wasn't there at Disney to see exactly what they did to her. Like I heard that there was like 40 people in a Zoom chat or something, and
Yeah.
she had to apologize or some shit. Yeah, that is kind of bullying a little bit. Yeah, you're like pressing somebody, to apologize when it should be just your higher up and you. I get that. But it's one of those, like, I wasn't there for that. But I also saw stuff that she posted, and you know,
Yeah, so it's crazy because it's almost like for me, I just thought. So just for context, Gina Carano is a former MMA fighter. She paved the way for lots of of MMA fighters today, you know, especially the women's division. And, you know, after
Mhm.
her, we had Ronda Rousey, Cyborg, you know, and the
Yeah.
list goes on, Savchenko, Amanda.
Well,
So
Cyborg took her out, but yeah.
yeah, yeah, yeah. But that's true.
Yeah.
But you know, then she got hired for acting, you know, like Haywire, and then you know, in Deadpool.
Mhm.
She was in the Deadpool movie, and then she got hired for Mandalorian as Cara Dune,
Yeah.
and people fell in love with the character. I think with the firing, like I think would I have fired her? I don't know. I think as a character, I don't care I don't care about Twitter or whatever, you know, like I don't know. But that's just me, you know, me personally. So I would just want the character. I don't
Yeah.
know, whatever. I wouldn't even be paying attention to what she even said to be, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Um, but you have to understand that Disney is paying attention to that. So Disney is paying attention to all that stuff. And I saw the tweet, and the tweet said something like, "Here, we should probably look it up, right?" I mean, she kept tweeting a bunch of stuff, and the thing is, she worked for Disney. They were hiring her, and they were gonna give her a show. So a lot of people are mad that she got fired. And there's this debate: should she have gotten fired? Should she have not got fired? Does she deserve to get fired? Does she not deserve to get fired? I just feel like um, uh, we all kind of have to deal with that reality. We all
Yeah.
of us do, especially people that work for the government or or school or whatever. We all kind of have to like watch for what we say. It's just what it is. Like that's you can't go to, even if you're saying something positive, you go to a school, let's say, and you start saying Jesus loves you. He loves everything. He loves
Yeah.
everything. They're going to tell you to stop. And if you keep
Yeah.
saying that, you're like, well, that's my freedom of speech. It's my opinion. Like, yes, you do have the freedom of speech, and you can keep saying that. We're not saying actually to stop saying that. We're
Yeah.
saying go ahead and keep saying that. Just say it on your own time and not on our payroll, and then you can
Yeah.
keep saying that.
Yeah.
Which to me it just sucks because the left and the right both do this where they have someone on their team, and then it doesn't matter how, like, they would never defend someone on they would be saying the normal things like, wait, but their employer who has the freedom to hire and fire whoever they want because we're the
Yeah.
right, and we normally think that and know that the employer is the one that has the freedom of speech or freedom to do with their business what they want to do. They usually fight for that. So if
Yeah.
they want to fire someone that's hurting their bottom line because of what they say or represent outside of their business,
Yeah.
I feel like anyone on the right, especially, would know that that's a thing. Like, hey, weren't like that was kind of your fault. Like you were warned by your employer, whether you agree or not. And we all have employers that we don't agree with, but if they say, even if you're doing something efficient that makes them more money, if they say, stop doing that, do it my way, and you keep doing it your way, making them more money, you're going to get fired. Go
Yeah.
work for someone else who appreciates you and appreciates that way, that which happens all the time. But
Yeah.
like, but what I'm saying is that employer has the freedom to fire you or hire or whatever. And it sucks because a lot of people, I've seen a few YouTube videos where they're like, oh, these people are celebrating Cara Dune
Hiring. Yeah.
getting fired. Like I saw even Blu-ray Angel, you know, shout out to the Go podcast, but even his tweet was on one of these videos, was like, oh, see, Blu-ray Angel is saying, and his was a neutral tweet. But
Yeah.
that's what
His
I'm
is
saying.
just comedy. Yeah.
Yeah, it's a neutral tweet. All it said was Gino Carano, and it said, "You guys got me fired," and then it said all of us, and then it had Obi-Wan saying, "You did this to yourself," you know, because
Yeah.
yeah, no, she kept saying like the Twitter mob, but like what mob? The Disney hires you. No one called for your firing. And if people
Yeah.
did, people were like, "Hey, you said these weird dumb things." Like there was way more people saying, "Hey, we want your own show." They were trying to give her own show.
Yeah,
You know
well,
what I mean?
I think there was a lot of people who didn't like her because she also talked out, you know, like offended the, you know, the gay lesbian, you know,
Oh,
community,
community.
right?
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah, yeah.
and she didn't at first was like, "Ah, I don't care, you know, and then later she was like, oh, I didn't see the error of my ways or whatever. Um, but that's the thing, like, so it's kind of like you have to be you have to understand that you're not the only one with an opinion, right? And there,
Mhm,
yes, there's people who are going to gravitate to your opinion, there's people who are not, right?
mhm,
But you also have to understand who, like you said, who you work for
mhm,
and what their opinion is, right?
Yeah.
If they're like, and if they've warned you and said, hey, can you keep this to a minimum or stop doing this, then yeah, that now it's your choice whether you're like, no, I believe in this cause or whatever it is, and I'm going to keep doing it with the risk of you getting fired, or
Yeah.
um
Like if I worked for Fox, and I started publishing all these like left leaning ideologies or
yeah,
whatever, I can't, right or wrong, I can't be shocked if I get fired. If I get an email saying, "Hey,
yeah,
I got fired" or whatever, and I don't know. It's just funny because I saw her tweet about the Jewish people or
yeah,
whatever, and I didn't think it was any one way or another. I didn't even finish the tweet. I just started reading the tweet and I was like, oh my God. And I, who am not in that business, I knew right when I read the tweet, I was like, dang, she's gonna get fired. She's gonna get
yeah,
fired. She's gonna get fired. Like the next, we're gonna in a few hours, I'm gonna be reading an article that she's gonna get fired. Why do I know that? I'm not her publicist. I'm not her.
yeah, yeah,
I don't work for Disney. I bet you any 14-year-old kid that follows like, movie media and all that stuff, all these things for Star Wars or whatever, when they saw her tweet, whether they agree with her tweet or not, I bet you teenagers were like, oh, no, they're going to fire her. They're going
yeah,
to, and I'm sure, because that was my reaction. I didn't care about I wasn't even sitting there dissecting the tweet. I didn't care about that. For
mhm,
me, it was just her being unprofessional. I know for a fact that she had been warned to stop tweeting dumb stuff,
yeah,
whatever. And if she's like, oh, well, they're not telling other people, who cares? Your employer told you. Who cares? I don't know.
yeah,
I thought, I don't know. I thought your employer, and I get it. Yes, there's a double standard, whatever, and you can point to it, sure. But did your employer tell you or not? Right? I don't
yeah,
know. I feel like did that not happen? It did, and we all saw it. So it's just crazy to me. Like okay, let's say I'm pro gun, whatever. If Star Wars comes and says, "Hey, Daniel, we'll give you your own show to your own made up character in a universe that you have always loved and read about and millions of people love and read about,
yeah,
called Star Wars. We'll give you your own show and you're the main character."
yeah,
Okay. All you got, and we'll pay you. You'll be set for life. You change your life. Change your life. Once in a lifetime. Star Wars. Star Wars. Once in a
yeah,
lifetime opportunity. We're gonna give it to you. Okay, sure. All you got to do is stop talking about guns. Just stop talking about them. Publicly. Privately, you can say whatever you want. Publicly, just stop. Is that cool? And I'm like, no. You know what I mean? Like, no.
yeah,
I have to. That's what made me mad, because they're trying to make this like she's some crusader that went out on her shield or out on her
yeah,
sword or whatever. But it's like, did you read her tweet? What point was she making? And even if you do reach and stretch some weird point from it,
yeah,
that was what was worth it. And then when I
yeah,
saw her interview, I got even more upset because she was even contradicting herself there, where it's like, oh, Twitter and it's a bunch of bots and they don't know. But then in the same breath says she felt the responsibility to convince these people of this thing. And then I'm like,
yeah.
well, that's the tweet you chose to convince and
Yeah.
persuade these people, the
Well,
minds of all these people. Like,
yeah.
okay.
So it goes like this, because I wonder what her opinion is on like Kaepernick. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, yeah.
Because
Big.
Kaepernick did this for a movement, right? And he was drawing attention to stuff that he was firmly and strongly believing in, right? And I don't think anywhere in the fine print it said, "Hey, you can't kneel," right? I don't think it was a thing ever, right?
No.
And even let's say it was something where like, hey, you have to show respect to the flag, right?
Yeah.
He went above and beyond to say, hey, is this okay? He
Mhm.
talked to people in the military to say, what can I do besides standing? And they told him, you can kneel, and that's okay, but other people were like, nah, fuck that, he has to stand.
Well,
you know
the problem with that is that um wait here, let me get rid of all this.
and for him to go out on his shield, which was, hey, play football or really bring some attention to this real big problem. I'll bring attention to this real big problem. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, that was the problem. That's what's crazy. That's what makes me mad. It's like it's because it's like, dang, I thought the people on the right would understand this, especially because of Kaepernick and
Yeah,
all of this. That it'd be like, what? Like, but you guys were saying, and that kneeling offends no one.
yeah,
Kneeling is like not saying anything against anyone,
yeah,
and it's not, and it's a clear message. Like he was doing it for a message. So like let me
yeah.
read. That's what I'm trying to say. Like is first off, what was Gina fighting for? And
Yeah.
second, what was her point? So what was she fighting for? And
Yeah.
what why how was she trying to get it across? I guess would be my second
Yeah.
one. So right here's the tweet. It says it's I just can't believe someone lost their own show because of this tweet. It's almost like watching a slow train wreck, like coming
Yeah.
from miles away. So, anyways, but you see this, and it's crazy because these people saying like, oh, they're celebrating this like celebrating. I love Gina Carano and I
Yeah.
love Cara Dune and I
Yeah.
love The
But
Mandalorian. What are you
there are people
talking
who are
about?
celebrating. There were people who are like, yeah, fuck you,
Yeah,
and that's fine
I'm
because, like if you are triggered or offended because of her stance on, the gay and lesbian and different, the appropriate way to address certain people. If
mhm.
you got offended by that, then you did, right? But again, like, yeah, what is her point? Why do you need to offend people? What is your message, or what are you trying to show? Like, I'm a strong believer of this.
Yeah,
You know,
yeah, yeah.
it got
Like
lost in her tweets and fucking
that's why.
messages.
Okay, so like one thing was the pronoun thing. I think
Yeah.
you know how people put like he, him, she, her,
Yes.
and yeah,
Exactly.
there's a lot of people that put jokes on it. They put
Yeah.
dolphin, they put whatever,
Yeah.
and they're not famous people, whatever. So then she put beep bap boop or
Yeah.
whatever the
Yeah.
heck her
Beep
thing.
bop boop. Yeah.
Yeah, and so people were like, "What? You're mocking them or whatever."
Yeah.
And she explained herself, and that's why in the interview she does explain herself very well. Where I'm like, "Okay, I get it. I get that you aren't malicious." Like she didn't, when she explains it, it's like, "Oh, you just like I, like I when I saw the beep bap boop, I thought, oh man, that
Star Wars, right?
it's funny because you're showing because especially how she explained it, you're showing that this is all like what is beep
Yeah.
bap boop, and even if you were to put he, him, her, whatever the heck,
Yeah.
what is that actually doing to anyone? To any what like now you're their savior because you
Yeah.
did that? Like what does
Yeah.
that actually do? So I get that I don't know. I get that, like, whatever. That's a joke. Do I think that she should get canceled because of beep bap boop? Like, no, I get what she's saying. I don't think she's like malicious in her explanation. I don't
Yeah.
feel that it was malicious. But now I'm feeling like, but you are unaware that people were gonna get mad about it. Like,
Yeah. For sure. Yeah.
you know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah.
come on, use some tact. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
use tact.
Yeah.
Like, use some
But
tact.
that's what I'm saying.
You know
Yeah.
what
You
I'm
can't
saying?
say things and just, I mean, there's a difference where if you say something and you really don't know that that's offensive and you're like, oh shit, like, fuck, I fucked up, my
Right,
bad. But
right.
there's a difference where it's like, I'm going to throw this out there and see what
Mm.
happens, knowing that somebody might fucking get offended by
That's what
that.
I'm
Like,
saying. And that's fine. Okay, but they did let her slide. And but
yeah,
then the thing is like is if your employer got mad at that, or if
yeah,
the people or whatever, the Twitter mob or whatever, whoever mob like got mad at that, then wouldn't you be like, "Oh man, to keep my job, I should probably
yeah.
just stop." Like
But
if I
yeah,
really want to mention this stuff, why not mention this in private or to people that I really want to, that I care
yeah,
about? Why am I mentioning this to the Twitter bots that are not even real people? Like that
yeah.
makes no sense.
Well, I think at that point is when she's like, oh, fuck, people are getting triggered for this. Let's see what else they get triggered for. They,
So,
yeah,
uh-huh.
well, go ahead.
Well, no, I was gonna read the tweet, but yeah,
Yeah,
finish.
go. No, no, go for it. That's
Oh,
fine.
okay, so yeah, so this is the tweet that actually got that broke the camel's back, I guess. So Jews were beaten in the streets, not by Nazi soldiers, but by their neighbors. Okay, so Jews were beaten in the streets. Yes, they were. Not by Nazi soldiers, but by their neighbors, even by children. That happened,
Yeah,
I'm sure that happened also. Okay, because history is edited, most people today don't realize that to get to the point where Nazi soldiers could easily round up thousands of Jews, the government first made their own neighbors hate them simply for being Jews. How is and so okay, that's true-ish,
Okay.
that's
Yeah.
true, not true-ish, that's true because history is edited. Most people
Yeah.
today don't realize that to get to the point where Nazi soldiers could easily round up thousands of Jews, the government first made their own neighbors hate them simply for being Jews. And
Yeah.
yeah, I guess yes. Okay,
Let's
yes,
say that happened.
we
Let's
can
say.
say
Yeah.
yes. We can
Yeah.
say that they were hated for being Jews. Okay, here it is. How is that any different from hating someone for their political views? And that's where
Yeah.
that's what just and then it has a picture of this I guess a Jewish lady you know getting beaten in the streets.
Yeah.
And so for me, that's where I'm like, how is that any different from hating? So you're saying a Holocaust is
Yeah.
the same as political disagreement. So like
Yeah.
right now, if you're anti-abortion and I'm
Yeah.
pro-abortion, that's the same as the
Well,
Holocaust. Like
well, the crazy thing is this: like, if you're right wing or left wing, right?
yeah,
There are people who get beat up, from both sides, right? But
yeah.
those people who are getting beat up are usually found in places where they're like outnumbered or they're really driving the point home.
Yeah,
You
and
know what I'm saying?
I guess she's not saying that political disagreement is like the Holocaust, but what she
Yeah.
is saying is this. What she is saying is this. She's saying is what she's saying is if Gina was our tia, and we're
Yeah.
cousins,
Yeah.
and then me and you were fighting at Thanksgiving,
Yeah.
and we had some political disagreement, she would get up and be like, "No, guys, because that's the beginning of what leads to murder
Yeah.
and death." And what are you talking about? Well, first, for you to hate him and to eventually kill him, first, the first thing that has to happen is this. What's happening right now is
Yeah.
you guys disagreeing. That's eventually going to lead to murder and death. So
Yeah.
don't disagree politically. Like what? Like what? Gina? What? Tia Gina? You know what I mean?
Damn,
Like
Gina.
that's it's just a huge stretch. Like just because you're Democrat and I'm Republican, like that's
Yeah,
because
just
we
because
have
we're
two parties,
debating.
we're gonna have a Holocaust
Yeah.
eventually. Like
Yeah.
no, man, no, stop it. And you had to tweet. Like that's what I'm saying. I read this tweet and I knew she was gonna get fired right
Yeah.
in the morning. I read this and I was like, oh my goodness,
Because
she's gonna get fired. Why did she have to tweet? This
so
is
here's
what.
the thing, right? If this is what she had to tweet, right?
Yeah.
And supposedly, she was bullied or felt bullied before this by Disney telling her she had to fucking apologize, right? Why not die on that shield? Why not come out and before you get fired, say, hey, you know what? I'm probably going to get fired for this is the reason, because I'm speaking my mind about this, or I have this public view, or blah blah blah. You know what I'm saying? Like, if you think like, hey man, they're watching me, because she said that they were watching her more than other actors, right, on
And that's
set.
probably
And
true, you
yeah,
know?
and then they were doing other things, right? So
Mm,
if you're feeling that, a or number one, why would you want to work there then?
mhm.
You
Yeah,
know.
yeah,
And two, if you were still working there, knowing like, damn, this might fucking fire my ass, cut it at the source first and be like, hey, you know what? Disney's whack because this, that, and the other thing.
that's what I'm saying, like,
Fire me for that shit, you know?
that's what I'm trying to say, like, if it was so whack, why were you staying there? If it was so bad, why
Yeah,
were you staying there? You were staying there because you were trying to get paid, but then you
yeah,
do this knowing that this would get you fired, so why
yeah,
not just quit? Why not quit with the point, how you said? Why
yeah,
not quit with the, like, "Hey, you guys suck because of this.
yeah,
Peace out."
yeah.
Like, that's like, what this
Versus, yeah,
and this isn't even that's what I'm trying to say is even if you agree with this, even if you agree with this, you're rocking the boat with this point. This is
yeah,
the point. At least with the knee with Kaepernick, it's like,
yeah,
hey, everyone looking at what he was doing with the knee knew whether you agree or not.
yeah,
You knew what he stand. What is this? I don't
yeah,
even know what you're standing for. What are you stand?
yeah,
What are you saying? Are you against free speech? Are you force free speech? Are you saying we shouldn't have political differences,
Yeah,
or we
yeah,
should have all of the same views? I
yeah.
actually don't even know what you're actually really fighting for here.
Exactly. Yeah.
You know, and that's what I'm trying to say is like, even if this is something that I agree with, I don't
You don't get it.
necessarily know what, yeah, I don't,
Yeah,
why, what we
yeah,
rocking the boat in this way.
yeah.
And I'm not, again, no, I'm not praising it. I'm more, what? Like, now we're not gonna get that show because of this.
You're all worried about the show.
Yeah, yeah, what? I'm
Yeah,
worried about the show, man. What the heck? We were gonna
yeah,
get more expanded into that
yeah,
universe, and the character was so dope. And yes, the character, what she stood for, she wasn't the stereotypical female heroic character. You know,
yeah.
she didn't look like the type that, you know, the like the mold.
What's
You
always
know,
been casted in the past. Yeah,
exactly. She
yeah,
was, you know, she was bigger. She fired
yeah,
this huge gun. She knew how to get down. She was
yeah,
great. I don't know. Really cool character. Cool character that I would, you know, want my daughters to look up to
yeah,
and
for
read
sure.
about or whatever.
Yeah,
Um, but yeah, that's why I'm disappointed. Now we're not gonna get a show where my daughters can see that character and that
true.
you
Yeah,
know, I don't know that. Yes, I'm mad, and because of this tweet, because of this,
yeah,
like you couldn't, you had to, you had to, you had to. So basically, essentially, that's what happened. And she's
yeah,
even saying that's what happened. She's saying they said stop it or we'll fire
yeah,
you. And I said no. I kept tweeting this. That's basically what she
yeah,
said. And so it's like I don't know. And
yeah. And I mean, maybe obviously through her eyes, it's different than how we're hearing it.
mm, mm,
Because that also, it's it's like they say, there's three sides to every story. There's their side. It's like, your side, my side, and the
and the
truth.
truth, yeah, yeah, and I agree. I don't. Again, I can only go off the interview and the tweets that she tweeted.
Yeah,
But what I'm trying to say is like that's even more to my point. I'm not there, and I don't know the exact truth, and
yeah,
how even me not knowing the truth and not having all the fact, how could I know to not, like, if I was Gina Carano, I wouldn't have woke up and tweeted this.
yeah.
I wouldn't have,
This
like, you know,
wouldn't have been your end all be all tweet. Yeah,
that's what I'm trying to say. Me, how do I know that not having all the pieces, I can still decipher this?
yeah,
She has all the pieces, but still had to tweet. I mean, this is her tweeting it. She admitted she tweeted this.
yeah,
So that's what I'm trying to say. Is like she she tweeted this. No one forced her to tweet that. That was her thing. Like, yes, free speech, but there's also
yeah,
consequences to the speech. I'm not saying like everyone should be canceled. I don't like
yeah.
that. I
I
don't
don't like
like
cancel
that.
culture either. No,
You know, I don't like it either.
I think
And
if Jesus came back, he'd be canceled.
yeah, probably.
They'd be
But
like, nah, you're not who we thought you were.
yeah, and I don't like the idea of, you know, obviously I'm not talking about all of the left or all of the
Yeah,
right.
yeah.
I'm talking specifically about the fanatics on both sides.
Mhm.
But yeah, I get that cancel culture and that, like, you can't be more woke than the left. You know what I mean? Like, you can't be further left than the left. I
Yeah,
don't like that. I do not like that idea where it's like, you know, these, you know, like, I don't know, like what is she saying here? This is so bad. It's not even really that bad. It's just dumb. You know what I mean? But
yeah.
it's dumb. It's a dumb point.
Well,
It's not
it's
really anti anything or for anything. It's just kind
but
of,
it's just word association too. It's like you couldn't
yeah,
have picked better, the
word.
better like comparison, or
Yeah,
like something more relating to your point.
right, right.
And I don't know.
That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. I'm more baffled by. And then I'm
Yeah,
more baffled by the defense of it because it's so clearly like, what the heck?
yeah,
And it's just like that's what happened. You know, no one's well, not no one. Some people are celebrating, but I'm not, and
yeah,
I don't know. I'm more disappointed that we don't get the that we're not getting the show now, man.
yeah.
What the heck? It stinks. It stinks. But there's all this hiring and all this
Firing.
yes, yes, firing, man. Is done. But I hope she gets her agency dropped her. I hope she doesn't get, you know, I hope she gets, I want to see her in more stuff, you know?
Yeah, yeah. I
I
don't
don't
hate her
know.
as a, I don't know her as a person. She doesn't seem all bad, but
No,
she's not really helping her cause.
no, it's true. It's
Yeah,
true. But yeah, man. All right. I think that's it for our episode 620. I'm Daniel.
Now I'm SAGA MC.
Until next time, peace out. Make sure you like, comment, share, subscribe, guys.